If you've been on the other side of the internet for any amount of time, you've probably heard of May, Inktober, or one of the hundreds of other events hosted by communities every year. These art challenges prompt artists of all kinds to come together over a month-long period to create. When I first picked up a stylus 7 years ago, I hurled myself at these challenges. But before long, I'd get tired, bored, or creatively burnt out, usually on day 2. And eventually, I just gave up running into the wall. Doing a month-long artist challenge was still on my artist bucket list, but it was a project that seemed too enormous to tackle, so it sunk right to the bottom of my list. But that was 7 years ago, so surely now I can do Hermitadaymay. Hermitadaymay is a fandom-hosted art challenge on Tumblr, where participants are prompted to draw a member of Hermitcraft and friends for every day of the month. The event also hosts a fundraiser for Gamers Outreach, which is just an extra cool bonus part of being able to participate. Artists of all kinds are invited to participate under the common theme. And after seeing so many cool artists do it last year, I had an itch to join in. One I was very hesitant to scratch because I hate leaving projects unfinished, and that's like the one thing I do consistently do. But my fear of missing out overruled all my anxious objections. So I was left to ponder the question of not if I can do it, but how can I do it? A quick sidebar here. When it comes to these challenges, a lot of the time, experienced professional artists will plan out these projects in advance, brainstorming ideas, thumbnailing sketches, working on pieces weeks before the challenges start so they can post fully polished works every day, which is a lot different to the operation of somebody who's just setting some time aside to do a sketch every day. I personally am not nearly experienced, professional, or good enough at time management to be that pedantic in my planning, but I knew if I was just sketching something out every day, I wouldn't end up posting. Not that sketching is a bad way to complete the project, I just like to use my socials as more of a portfolio. And if I wasn't posting, I knew I wasn't going to be able to motivate it enough to complete the challenge in the first place. There's a truth in art that as much as it's just for yourself, it's also made to communicate with other people. Challenges like Hermitaday facilitate communication, validation, and encouragement between artists to keep on creating. So I needed a middle ground, somewhere between the fully polished pieces and the quick sketches. I also needed a goalpost, a way to track my progress in a way that not only made me excited, but everyone else who was following along. So how did I track my progress? I decided to make my Hermitaday project all one piece. Let me show you. I honestly totally even forgot it was May until I got pinged with a pinch and a punch message, so I didn't start this sketch until I was on the train home from uni on the 1st. I hadn't told anybody I was planning to participate officially, but I'd already decided in my brain I was. So I just got to it, even if drawing on the train gets you a few strange looks. More on that later. My concept of theme that I decided to do for this challenge was a class photo. I arranged all the hermits and sketched out some of the basic poses of them interacting with each other. Walking into a project like this, I wanted to give myself enough wiggle room to change things up if I wanted, while still having enough structure for the days I was feeling more creatively tired. And with the sketch complete, it was time to start the actual challenge, chipping it off bit by bit, day by day. So, how about a speed paint montage? And with all 25 hermits drawn and complete, along with a few extra doodles for the bonus prompts, I thought I'd take you through a little tour of all my favorite parts of this project and some of the statistics, because I do like crunching numbers when I don't have to do the math myself. On average, I drew for about an hour and a half each day, and on top of that, I was also doing a lot of editing for short form content. I wasn't even posting every day as well. I started off doing that, but when it came to weekends assignments and managing my other hobbies, I wasn't able to draw every day or able to finish it in time to post every day. In fact, I didn't even complete the challenge until a few days into June, so did I actually complete Hermitadaymay? You decide. The hermit I spent the longest time drawing was Gemini Tay at 3.5 hours, followed shortly by Hypno and Jevin. And I think you can tell I spent that extra time because my art style isn't exactly consistent in this piece, which isn't my favorite thing, but I was having a lot of fun with their outfits and I had time to be silly. On the other hand, I spent the shortest amount of time drawing ZF at 21 minutes. Funny story. So I live in Australia and the time zone difference with the rest of the world means I can basically post a day late and it doesn't matter too much, but I'd gotten quite far behind at one point, so I was just speedrunning drawing as many hermits as I could and throwing them into the piece so I could get it in on time. But I was also on a train and it was quite a full train, so I was squished with my tablet and the kid next to me was just watching in confusion as I drew as fast as I could and was like copying and pasting all the hermits into the final piece. She seemed really interested in the drawings because she was like pointing and talking to her friend in front of me, but I was so locked in I couldn't even speak. So this is my formal apology to the girl who watched me draw the Juppet and said live. Thanks for the motivation. Sorry it probably looked really confusing. She seemed interested in drawing, so I hope whatever pedantic scuffle I was in inspired her to draw. Anyways, that's a long-winded tangent from me saying the next shortest hermit to draw was Ran at 43 minutes and then Tango at 44. Okay. Here's some quick fire round facts. I drew 3 hermits for the first time, 7 in full color. My favorite designs were Mumbo, False, and Hypno. The best shoe I drew was Tango's right foot. The best prop was False's river bag. My favorite pose is Mumbo with his lawsuit brick. Most inaccurate design is Mumbo with his brick. Name spelled the most times wrong in this script is Mambo. Favorite video was the choose your character. The most embarrassing video was the choose your character edit. I don't know how I forgot to cut the CapCut logo thing at the end. That was so embarrassing. Anyways, cutest gem to spot was the little technician in Tango's lap, and the hermit drawn most time in a row accidentally was Full Symmetry. You love to see it. In total, this project took me 53 hours and 30 minutes, which is a lot of time for a month, or 2 months since I finished it in June, but I completed it. I finished the challenge. And I can finally tick this off as one of the projects I've been able to participate in, and I'm quite proud of it. It's not perfect, and every time I flip the canvas on this thing I want to cry a little, but it's a piece that has a lot of memories in it nonetheless, and it was super cool being able to document the journey, interact with different people, and get real-time feedback and encouragement. I wouldn't have done it without everyone else who was participating in the challenge. There's a community of creatives, artists, mods behind you, supporting everyone. So if you're someone who's been wanting to do a challenge like this, whether you have before but didn't finish like me, or if you've been wanting to but haven't yet, or if this is something completely new to you but sounds fun, this is your sign. I truly encourage you to have a go. Obviously, take care of yourself because an art challenge is never the first priority in your life. It wasn't in mine, which is why I didn't finish it until early June. But it teaches you a lot about the way you approach art and keeps you consistent in improving and exercising your creativity. And in the end, you have a ton of art to show for it that you can look back on and sit back and take a well-deserved break in the next month. Oh, hello? Yes, this is her. What do you mean July's next month? My OCs aren't ready. Okay, alright, I'll get to it. Okay, bye. Sorry, that was Art Fight. It looks like I won't be getting a break after all.